Hello everyone, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Monday, November 22nd. Thanks for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. And it's a very happy Victory Monday, if a stressful Victory Monday after that Cleveland Browns game on Sunday, but a Victory Monday indeed. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's start off with some warnings that are coming from Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. He is warning people about some shopping scams that are coming over the phone ahead of this holiday season. He's saying that there are robocallers who are claiming to be from Amazon, Apple, or PayPal, and they are trying to steal consumers' money. So be aware of this if you're getting phone calls, unsolicited phone calls from these people who claim to be from these companies, because most of the time what the scammers will do is they'll call and say that they want to help you fix a situation with a large purchase and try and get you a refund. And what they will ask for is remote access into your device, and then what they're doing is they're stealing your personal information, potentially hacking into your bank account, stealing your personal identity, and those kinds of things. Attorney General Yost said today legitimate companies don't do business this way, so just hang up if you get a phone call like this. These imposters want to get you on the line. They want to cause panic so that you cough up this personal information, and his hope is that you just end the phone call right then and there. Now, it was in early fall that the Federal Trade Commission let consumers know how popular the Amazon impersonation scam is. Many of these calls, like I said, claim that they are trying to help you get a refund for an expensive item that you didn't purchase. Well, the purchase doesn't exist. The expensive item, not a thing. This is actually a fake person then asking for that access to your information so that they can give you a refund that you'll never get, and actually they will end up taking your money. So be vigilant about this. If you do get caught up in one of these scams, you can contact the legitimate retailer. Go to that retailer's website. Don't click on any links that come to your phone through a text message or through an email. Go to the website for that company, contact them with the contact information there, and you can also report the scam at the Ohio Attorney General's Help Center. We do have that linked for you on WKYC.com. Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers today in from the Ohio Department of Health. In the last 24 hours, we've seen 4,370 new reported cases of COVID-19, and right now there are 3,192 people who are in the hospital being treated for COVID-19. Out of those people, 864 of them are being treated in an intensive care unit. Now let's shift to the sports news over the weekend. Yes, the Cleveland Browns did win over the Detroit Lions, but if you watched that game, you know it was not an easy road to victory. It was very stressful, and it was quite close. It was a lot closer than a lot of people would have liked it to be. The final score was 13-10. There was a missed extra point in there that started to get very stressful towards the end there when the Lions did put up that field goal to get it to be 13-10. Fortunately, they did not win. They weren't able to score again. Now, what did happen, though, on the field, Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns quarterback, he got booed by some of the fans in the stands. And when he was asked about that today, because Baker did not talk to the media after the game, which is not typical for a starting quarterback, not typical for Baker Mayfield. Today, when he did speak to the media, he was asked what he thought about the fans that had booed, and he said those are probably the same fans who won't be quiet when they're on offense trying to operate, he said, so he doesn't really care about those fans. Asked why he didn't talk to the media after the game, he said it didn't have anything to do with those fans booing him, but he was frustrated. He was frustrated with his own performance. He was frustrated with the injuries that are basically all over his body. He's got a lot of injuries that he's dealing with right now. The only part of his body really that's not injured, it seems at the moment, is his throwing shoulder, but those injuries definitely certainly impacting his performance. That's clear. But he did say this. He said, we won the game, so that's the most important part. He's frustrated with his execution and everything, just trying to internalize. That's how he handles things, he said. It's the same thing over and over. He doesn't want to keep repeating himself, but the injuries are definitely something that Baker Mayfield having a lot of frustration with. So, as we do on Mondays after the games, whether it's a win or a loss, we get some commentary from our experts that we have on staff. We do happen to have 3 News Jay Crawford providing his commentary. You know, I worked at ESPN for a very long time. So here's what he had to say about the game. He said, let's be honest, it wasn't pretty. He said, "That's actually being too kind. It was horrible, ugly, boring, and frustrating, but it was a win, and it counts just as much as the last one." And the last win, in case you forgot, was a 41-16 blowout of the Cincinnati Bengals. He says this. He says, "Exhale, learn from it, and move on." It wouldn't hurt, he said, if the Browns could get injured running back Kareem Hunt back into the fold. He said, "We will need all hands on deck for next Sunday's game against the Baltimore Ravens." That is absolutely true. We've got them back to back. There's a bye week in between there for the Cleveland Browns, but taking on Baltimore on the road next Sunday, bye week, and then Baltimore at home the following Sunday. But beating the Ravens, he says, will not be easy, especially if Lamar Jackson is back from illness, which is expected. He is expected to be back on the field. It's possible, but maybe unlikely. Jay says if the good Browns show up, they have a chance. But if we see the same team that we've seen for the last 2 weeks, Cleveland will find itself 6-6 heading into the bye with no room for error in the final 5 weeks of the regular season. So, crucial game. At this point, each game is a crucial game if the Cleveland Browns want to make it to the playoffs. But crucial game next week, playing the Baltimore Ravens, who, by the way, are leading the AFC North right now with 7 wins. All right, let's talk about something else that happened in terms of a little bit of drama with Detroit. LeBron James drew blood from a player during the Pistons-Lakers game. He was ejected from the game, the Lakers versus the Detroit Pistons, after drawing blood on Isaiah Stewart's face. They were tangled up. They were boxing out for a rebound on Sunday night, and then it looked like James' left elbow and hand made contact with Stewart above the neck and sent him into a bloody rage. Yeah, a little bit of blood drawn there. He had to be held back more than once, keeping him separated from LeBron James, and he was also ejected from the game early in the third quarter. And then Lakers guard Russell Westbrook was assessed a technical foul after the officials reviewed that play and all the fallout from it. So, Detroit, the source of lots of sports drama over the weekend. Now, this is a very cool initiative out of Ohio State University. The president is now announcing a debt-free degree initiative. They are calling it the Scarlet and Gray Advantage. And this will be a pilot program next year, starting with 125 students. Once it's fully implemented, they said it'll cost about $100 million a year. The university says it plans to raise $800 million over the next 10 years to pay for these undergraduate scholarships. Now, what this will be is it's a combination of increased scholarships, grants, and paid internships. President Christina Johnson stressed this is not free tuition, this is not free college, this is an opportunity to work so that you can graduate debt-free throughout your 4 years. You do have to commit to graduating in 4 years, but it'll be expansion of the network of paid internships so that students can earn more money, develop job skills, and prepare themselves for once they graduate. And I can tell you, as someone who has graduated with quite a bit of student loan debt themselves, this is a pretty great program if it's something that you're able to get involved in. The president of Ohio State said that just under half of Ohio State students graduate with debt. It's an average about $27,000 based on last year's class. So if you can graduate without that hanging over your head, that's incredible. Now, speaking of some students in the Northeast Ohio area, here's something pretty cool. There are some Stark County teens that will be performing in the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. These are Fairless High School seniors Jacob Lyon and Brock Hrinko, and they're getting ready for the performance of the lifetime. They'll be a part of the Macys Great American Marching Band. They had to write and they had to send in a musical application, and now they are 2 of 185 band members who will march in New York City, which is something that you'll be able to watch right here on Channel 3. You can watch that Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. So, busy week for them. They made it to New York over the weekend. Their call time on Thanksgiving Day is 1:30 a.m., but it will be well worth it. Again, they did make it to the city over the weekend. There is a GoFundMe that was put together to help them raise the money because they did have to pay for the trips themselves. It's reached nearly $4,000, so if that's something that you want to contribute to, we've got that linked on WKYC.com. Something that you will not be able to do on Thanksgiving Day now or for the foreseeable future is go to Target. Target has decided to keep its closed stores for Thanksgiving for now, for the foreseeable future, making that permanent. Now, this is something that they started last year when stores needed to be closed because people needed to stay spread apart because we were in the midst, still the early midst, pre-vaccine early midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. But what retailers realized is spreading out the sales and not having them on Thanksgiving Day and just Black Friday actually was better for them. The sales went up. Holiday sales in November and December rose 8.2% in 2020 from the previous year. That's according to the National Retail Federation. And this year, It's expected to go up even more, growing between 8.5% and 10.5%. Americans realize, they can get those deals over a broader time span that relieves some stress to go with the holidays, and people appeared to embrace the change and bought more things. So Target will be closed on Thanksgiving Day, and employees won't have to go in. Here's something very cool that country singer Kane Brown is doing. He's not from Northeast Ohio, but he is paying to renovate the Cleveland Boys and Girls Club basketball court. Chief Programs Officer Alan Smith said that this is a major renovation that they have been wanting. It hasn't happened for a number of years, and Kane Brown is doing this with boys and girls clubs really across the country. He made mention of the fact that he didn't know what would have happened to him if he didn't have sports to keep him out of trouble when he was young. So he's really hoping that this new court gets more people into the door of the Cleveland Boys and Girls Club. And when he comes back in just a couple months for the NBA All-Star Weekend, which is being hosted here in Cleveland in late February, he is hoping to reopen that basketball court for the Cleveland Boys and Girls Club. So they are hoping to make a real quick turn on this renovation, and that'll be a great thing for everyone involved. So thank you to Kane Brown for doing that. Again, not from the Northeast Ohio area, just doing a nice thing while he was here in town. He had a concert at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse this weekend, and so he popped over to the Boys and Girls Club with a checkbook in his hand, and he said he wanted to pay for that renovation. Pretty cool move there from Kane Brown. So from all of Northeast Ohio, thank you for that. That's it for your 3 News Now update today for Monday, November 22nd. Everyone have a wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow with more 3 News Now.